So let's dive into one of the most interesting parts of the Jewish Sabbath, or Shabbos, because there's this one central idea that honestly can seem completely backwards, unless you have the secret key to understanding it. And this is the big question, right? On a day that's supposed to be all about rest, how on earth is it totally fine to haul a heavy couch around, but flipping a tiny, weightless light switch is a huge no-no? It just doesn't seem to make any sense.
And yeah, this really lays it out. On the one hand, you have a seriously tough physical job, totally permitted. But on the other, you have something that takes almost zero effort, and it's completely forbidden. So, whatever work means in this context, it's clearly not what you and I think it is.
Okay, so to get to the real answer, we first have to clear away all the common misconceptions. We gotta bust some myths about what's actually being prohibited on Shabbos. Most people usually land on one of these three ideas, and we're gonna see pretty quickly why none of them really hit the mark. It's not about your 9 to 5, it's not about breaking a sweat, and it's not just some blanket ban on technology. First up, the idea that it's just about taking a day off from your profession. That's not it. A store manager could technically be stocking shelves and be fine, but someone at home could break a core rule just by making a cup of tea. So, nope, it's definitely not about your occupation. All right, what about just physical effort? I mean, that seems illogical for a day of rest, but it's also wrong. Like we said, you can move a couch, but you can't comb your hair or even just carry some coins in your pocket. The main takeaway here is that effort is not the measuring stick. Not at all. And the last one, the technology myth. It's so easy to think Shabbos is just about having an unplugged day, but that's not the whole picture. You can absolutely enjoy the benefits of electricity. You can have lights on, you can have the AC running, as long as you aren't the one switching it on or off during Shabbos. So the tech itself is not the problem. So if it's not about jobs or effort or technology, what in the world is it about? Okay, let's get into it, because this next concept, this one word, is the key that makes everything else just click. And that word is Melachah. Now, this doesn't mean work like doing chores or physical labor. It means a creative act. It's any action that is intelligent and purposeful and fundamentally transforms something in the world, even in a tiny way. And this is the absolute heart of the matter. The actions that are prohibited on Shabbos aren't about how difficult they are. They're about what they symbolize. They are acts that represent us as masters of our environment, imposing our will, our design, and our control over the natural world. So this idea creates a totally different way of looking at the day. It's about a fundamental shift in your whole mindset, from being a creator and a controller to just being an observer, a part of the world as it is. Let's make this real. For example, think about lighting a match. It takes almost no physical strength, right? But it is a profound act of melachah. It's the perfect illustration. You're taking raw materials, and through your own action, you're creating something completely new, fire. You are demonstrating total mastery over energy and matter. Or how about this one? Writing a single letter on a piece of paper. I mean, that's not exactly a workout, but it's such a pure act of creation. You're taking a blank canvas and you're imposing a meaningful, intelligent symbol onto it. You're turning nothing into something with order and purpose. That is a perfect example of melachah. And once you get it, you start to see this principle everywhere. Cooking takes raw food and makes it into a meal. Planting a seed literally redirects nature's path for your own benefit. Even just tearing paper to a specific shape is an act of purposeful design. So there's this incredible rhythm to the week. For 6 days, our job is to be creators. We build, we fix, we improve, we control. But on the 7th day, we consciously take a step back. We stop trying to change things. We just coexist. I absolutely love this analogy. We all know that friend who means well, but is always trying to fix things or optimize the plan. And sometimes you just want them to be there with you. Shabbos is like that. It's an invitation to just be present without feeling that constant urge to manage the world. Okay, so how does this ancient idea of creative rest connect to our lives today? Well, let's talk about that little device that's probably in your pocket or sitting right next to you. I mean, just think about that for a second. Your phone is the ultimate control device. It might be the single most powerful tool for managing and controlling your world that has ever existed in human history. With your phone, you are in a constant state of management. You manage your schedule.
You curate your public image. You direct your social life. You control the endless flow of information. You are constantly in a state of creative control, of Melachah.
And this is the real reason you can't use your phone on Shabbos. Using it, sending a text, making a call, even just turning it on, completes an electrical circuit. It's a clear, modern act of creation, of Melachah. But on a much deeper level, putting it down isn't about rejecting screens. It's about accepting an invitation to let go of the constant burden of management.
And that really brings us to the final thought. What would it feel like to have one day a week where you aren't the CEO of your own life, where you actually trust that the world will be okay without your constant input and control? That's not a restriction. That's a really profound kind of freedom.